The clever moneylender. Long, long ago, in a faraway village, there lived a very well-known man named Sham Bahadur. He had borrowed some money from the village moneylender Kishan Singh. Despite many reminders from Kishan Singh, Sham Bahadur had not paid back the money. Kishan Singh was very angry, and one day when Sham Bahadur had guests, he went to his house and demanded to be paid back. Sham Bahadur was very embarrassed and promised to pay it the next day. But he thought, how dare he humiliate me in front of my guests? I will teach him a lesson. So, the next day, he confronted Kishan Singh on a deserted road. You dared to insult me in my home, in front of my guests? You will pay for it now, Kishan Singh, he threatened. The moneylender was terrified. He thought fast and said, I knew you would try and attack me. That is why I left a letter with my wife. If I don't return home or am badly injured, she will take it to the king. I have written all the details of our transactions in it and have also said that I was afraid you would harm me. So go ahead and do what you want, he continued. On hearing this, Sham Bahadur was taken aback. Kishan Singh immediately said, I know what we can do. If I forfeit your loan, will you forgive me and leave me alone? This proposition suited Sham Bahadur, and he agreed. Kishan Singh said, Okay, I'll just draw up a receipt and it will be of no use unless we have a witness. He looked around, looking for someone, and said, We can have the banyan tree as our witness. Yes, it will do fine. Is that okay? Sham Bahadur was pleased. He said, Yes, yes, that will be perfect. Now hurry up and give me the receipt. Kishan Singh smiled to himself, wrote the receipt and gave it to Sham Bahadur, who took it and went away feeling pleased. The next morning, Sham Bahadur received a summons from the king. He thought, I wonder what it is that he wants. I better go and find out. So he went to the king's court, and there he found Kishan Singh. The king looked at Sham Bahadur and said, Is it true that you had borrowed money from Kishan Singh and haven't paid it back? Sham Bahadur was afraid, but he said, Your Majesty, I have paid back the money. Look, I have the receipt. He then took the receipt and gave it to the king. The king looked at the receipt and said, Your witness was a banyan tree? Wasn't there anyone else who could witness it? Sham Bahadur replied, No, Your Majesty, it was a lonely road and there was only a tree there. The king said, This receipt is useless, Sham Bahadur. It does not even have Kishan Singh's signature. What? Said Sham Bahadur in shock. He took the receipt and he found that in the place of his signature, Kishan Singh had scrawled the words banyan tree on it. The king said, You have tried to cheat, Sham Bahadur. Now, as a punishment, you will pay up double the amount. Go now." Sham Bahadur realized that he was foolish to have acted in anger. He apologized to Kishan Singh and repaid double the amount he had borrowed. He also promised never to stoop to underhand means ever again.